it's Sam. Today I'm going to be doing a video on tips for acne. I am 30 years old and I still suffer from acne, hormonal usually, or if I'm kind of like using a new product and my skin is just super sensitive, so it breaks out to things within like hours. If I have a new foundation and my skin doesn't like it, I'll have a zit by the end of the day. So I have had to kind of learn to deal with it throughout the years. I started getting acne when I was 13 and it's been a beautiful friend ever since. It's one of those friends that is so loyal, it just doesn't want to leave me. So if you have that beautiful thing in your life, you might as well just figure out ways to deal with it and ways to kind of keep it as minimal as possible. My number one tip is knowing your skin. Trying out different things and knowing what works and kind of keeping track of, oh, my skin did not like this. You really have to be aware when you have acne prone skin, because there are products like, for instance, MAC. I just don't do well with MAC. If I try MAC bronzers or MAC blushes, I will have little white bumps on my cheeks. If I use their foundation, I will break out. If I have their contour, I will have a big gigantic zit right in the hollow. So I think the most important thing is to know your skin, know what doesn't work for you, and really be aware and pay attention to those days that you did break out. What were you eating? What were you using on your face? Was it that time of the month? And knowing like what kind of acne you have. Like for me, I have hormonal acne and I also have really like sensitive to product acne. So certain makeup products make me break out, and then of course when it's that time of the month, then I will always get them around the jaw. When it's hormonal, you'll notice it's kind of like in this area. For me, when it's a product that is irritating my skin, it's above here. So when I get like little bumps on my forehead or on my cheeks, I know it's from something that I'm wearing on my face. When I get them down below, it's from something that is hormonal. So usually when it's that time of the month for me. Number two, just because it works for someone else does not mean it will work for you. And that's, even with this video, you know, I might be showing you some products that for me are amazing and they work awesomely, and then you might try them and you're like, I hate her. It didn't even work. She's a liar. Everyone's skin is different, and acne is so darn psychopath that it is like, for me, there are people that I've been using all these different things and it just didn't work for me. I've tried so many products in my life, it's ridiculous. The amount of money I've spent on acne products, I could probably buy a house. Try them, but don't necessarily think this is gonna work for you just because it worked for your friend Susie at school. For me, I have to exfoliate every single day. And a lot of people have said, don't do that, don't exfoliate every day. And when I stop doing that, that's when I get the worst breakouts. So in my case, I do have to exfoliate every day. My skin, for some reason, gets clogged up super duper quickly. I have a ton of oil. And for me, when I don't exfoliate every day, my skin gets way worse. And that was something that I didn't do when I was younger. I never exfoliated. So it's about knowing your skin and knowing what works for you and knowing what you need, whether or not other people are recommending you to do that. So my number three is my exfoliator. This is the Proactive Skin Smoothing Exfoliator. It has a benzoyl peroxide acne treatment in it, and I use this daily. It has 2.5 of benzoyl peroxide. So this one is specifically designed as a daily exfoliator. So there are exfoliators that you definitely wouldn't want to use every day. If they're really harsh, they're super duper gritty, that's something you don't want to use every day. You want to find something that is really, really fine. It's almost like sugar. You know what I mean? Like super duper fine. This is amazing. It makes my skin so baby soft. It's unbelievable. It tightens my face. Like, it's not like dry tight, but it kind of feels like it tightens my pores. It's just honestly probably the best scrub I've ever tried. I used to use the Murad, which I love the Murad as well, but I feel like this is just a little bit better if you have acne. It just makes your skin so silky soft, and it really does help with the acne. My number four is finding a good toner. Now, I have gone through so many different toners in the past, and sometimes they just made my skin worse. My skin would get really irritated. I have sensitive acne prone skin, so it's just kind of a mess really. This one is super awesome. I also got this one at Generation Beauty alongside the Proactive. So I've been using it now for a few months. This is the Dermalogica Clear Start Breakout Clearing All Over Toner, and I love this stuff. Now, it is a spray pump, and it says just spray it all over your face. Don't do that, guys. It dries your eyelids out and it dries your lips out. So if you are using acne products, remember, don't get it on the lips, don't get it on the eyes, because it will dry out that skin. That skin is extra sensitive. And if you're worried like, why is my lip so chapped? And you're using acne wash on your lips, that's why. So I like to spray this on a cotton ball, and I do it morning and night, and I just kind of swipe over the areas. And this again makes your skin so silky soft, it's like unbelievable. Like smooths your skin so much. It doesn't burn. You can use it daily, morning and night. It's got bitter orange, it's got lemongrass, and it has salicylic acid. So this is an acne fighting toner. My next product that I love is the Bioscripted's Repiderm. This has got 4.4% of benzoyl peroxide. Also guys, when you are starting out with acne products, start slowly. Don't put 5 million acne products all at once twice a day, because your skin is gonna be like, what are you doing to me? Relax. Do it slowly. So if you're starting out with one acne product that has benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid and you've never used it before, do it once a day. But definitely don't pile on 5 million acne products all on the same time, twice a day, and then wonder why your skin hurts. It's gonna happen if you do it all too much. So for me, I can use this all the time, twice a day, because I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. My skin is so used to salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide that it's like, psh, this old thing. But you do want to make sure that when you try out new products, go slow with it. Try it once a day at first, maybe try it at nighttime so that you have the whole night to kind of like, whoo, calm down. But this is amazing. This is an acne treatment, and it clears and prevents acne. My friend Summer Saldana got me hooked on this. She sent me some, and I was like, whoa, why haven't I tried this? It's basically an acne treatment that feels like a moisturizer. It moisturizes my skin, but it really helps at kind of calming down my acne, getting rid of my acne, preventing acne. If I am going to be wearing new makeup and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm nervous, is this going to break me out? If I put this on first, usually it'll at least help to make it so that it's not quite as bad. I use this morning and night no matter what. It's amazing. It is not heavy. It's lightweight, so it's not going to make you greasier. It's honestly the best product I've ever used for acne as far as like an acne treatment like serum goes. Highly, 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 highly recommend that. It's like 30 bucks, so worth it. Don't be afraid to try things out that stink. And usually acne products do stink. Let's face it, they're not the best smelling things. But this is one of those items that you would never think to put on your face. You would never think to put on acne, and you get it at the grocery store. This is called Bragg's apple cider vinegar. This is organic. Now, when I have a humongous breakout and I'm like, what is this thing? It's not gonna dry up, it's ridiculous, I pop my zits. I'm not gonna lie, I do it. Because you know what, and this is what frustrates me about people that don't have acne but want to give you advice about their acne. It drives me insane. They say, don't pop your zits. They say all this stuff. Or they think, oh, well, she's dirty. She doesn't have good hygiene. That is not true, because sometimes the more you wash your face, the worse your acne gets. So I've gone through everything. I've heard everything in the books because I've had it since I was 13. And it is so frustrating when someone who has perfect skin, like my sister, she used to do this to me all the time. She would try and tell me what to do with my acne, and I'm like, girl, you've never had acne in your life. You've never even had, she's had like one zit. And then she would try and tell me what to do, and I'm like, you have dry skin! You don't even know what oily skin is! And I used to get so mad at her. We used to get in fights about my stupid acne. When people who have perfect skin want to tell you what to do with your zits, they don't realize that when you have a humongous pimple, it hurts. It hurts to smile. It hurts to move your face. It is like the most painful thing in the world, and people who have never had one don't realize it. They're like volcanoes, and sometimes you need to pop them because the pain is so ridiculous and so intense, and it's so explosive that you're like, I can't go on any longer through the day without popping this darn thing. So do I pop my zits? Yes, I do. When you get them like around here and you're smiling and then you're like, oh, that hurts really bad. So I do pop my zits. Make sure you're clean if you're gonna do it. I know people say don't pop your zits because it does give you scars. I do have scars on my face. So if you don't want scars, maybe leave them and see how it goes. But for me, I just can't. I can't just leave a big old white head on my face. I have scars. That's just what happens when you have acne. I feel like if you have really bad acne, you're probably gonna have scarring, and you're gonna end up with scarring like me. That's just life. Honestly, I think I would have had scarring whether I pop them or not. If you are gonna pop them, obviously make sure you're clean. Make sure your hands are clean, and make sure your face is clean. Don't pop it when you got a bunch of makeup on. That's just ridiculous. But here is what's gonna dry that sucker right up. You're gonna get the apple cider vinegar. You're gonna shake it up because all the good stuff is on the bottom. You're going to put it onto a pad, like a cotton ball or a cotton pad, and you're going to soak it on that darn volcanic zit. It's just going to dry it up within usually about a half an hour to an hour. That zit is dried up and the next day it's gone. So that is like my, if all else fails and I have a volcano on my face, that's what I do. It's also really good if you do feel like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of breakouts right here and you don't want to pop anything, stick it on there anyway. And I just kind of hold it on there for like 30 seconds just to feel like, do it when you're fresh out of the shower or after washing your face with nice warm water so that your pores are open, and then just kind of hold it on there so that it really gets into the skin, and it will dry up your zits so quickly, guys. Like when I get a big huge zit and I'm like, this thing is just so painful and ridiculous and it's huge and it's shiny and it just wants to scream hello to everybody, I put some of this on. It's within an hour, it dries up to a tiny little scab, and the next day it's gone. So this is a lifesaver. If you do have those big, huge, massive ones that you just hate, get some of this stuff. I'm telling you, it's gonna save your life. It's gonna save your face, especially if you're like, what if it's prom? Or what if you're having a wedding or something where you're gonna be taking pictures and you wanna look your best, and you wake up that morning, because it always happens, with a gigantic zit like here, somewhere ridiculous. This is what you need to do. Stick some of this on it, it'll be good. And then as far as makeup goes, I think makeup is a huge trial and error. Finding a foundation, finding a primer that works for you, that's not gonna break you out. Even blushes break me out, highlighters, bronzers, pretty much tons of stuff breaks me out because my skin sucks. But finding the right products for your face for daily use that aren't gonna break you out is huge. So if you're gonna be wearing makeup, I definitely recommend wearing a primer. So first, put on your acne stuff. Then this is the best primer that I've used as far as if you have really oily skin, and my skin is oily, ridiculously oily. And if you have acne prone skin, this is by Jouer. It's the Anti-Blemish Matte Primer. It's non-drying, non-irritating, and it's a pore refiner. It's silicone free, paraben free, hypoallergenic, oil free, and it has salicylic acid in it. So not only is it a primer for before you put your foundation on to make your skin just look awesome, it has salicylic acid in it. Try to say that when you have Invisalign, that's really difficult. So you're treating yourself as well as priming your face for your foundation. It's super lightweight, it does not make me oily, it keeps the oil at bay all day long, it makes my foundation stay on a lot longer, it kind of helps my pores, it's like fills them without being silicone-y. It's honestly the best primer for acne that I've ever found. Highly recommend this. Another kind of splurge, but it's so worth it, and a little bit goes a long way. This has lasted me for so long. Okay, as far as foundation goes, the best foundation that I have found throughout the years, and I used to use this all the time when I was younger, and then I stopped for some reason, and then I just recently started going back to it, and it is honestly just the best foundation that I have ever found as far as oiliness and as far as acne and as far as full coverage, long wearing, basically everything that you want in a foundation when you have acne. This is it. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. It's long wearing, it's full coverage, it still looks like skin. It is oil free, so it is not going to make you look, it's like a matte finish, so it's going to make your skin not be super oily throughout the day. But these two together, I feel like you have to. It's like a must-have together. The thing is, people, I remember when I was younger, they'd be like, why are you wearing all that foundation? It's causing you to have acne, which probably was the case back then because I was using super cheap stuff, and it probably was making me break out. But the thing is, when you have acne, it's embarrassing. And you don't want to just walk out of the house when you have all these fooing old bright red pimples on your face. It's like the worst ever when you don't like your skin and it's bright red and it's irritated and it's blotchy and you have zits. And it's like, then people say, well, why don't you just stop wearing makeup? Well, I don't want to walk around with my face looking like this because I feel crazy. And it's nothing like you're being vain. It's just you want to feel better about yourself, especially when you're at school. I mean, I used to get called so many mean names because of my acne that it's ridiculous. I could write a book. So if you want to wear full coverage foundation and you're in high school and people think, well, you're too young to be wearing that or whatever, if it makes you feel better, do it. You know what I mean? Because there's no need to be walking around feeling self-conscious of your face. You can't even concentrate on your work because you got your acne and you're worried about everyone staring at it. Wear some foundation and feel better about yourself. I don't even care. When it comes to that kind of stuff, when it makes you feel better about yourself, do it. That's my motto. Here's my powders. that I recommend. One of them, of course, is from England. You can't get it over here, but I'm sure you can order it online. The first one that I really love is the NARS. This is translucent crystal, and I'm sorry, a lot of this stuff is expensive, but guys, when it comes to your face, sometimes you have to buy a little bit more expensive stuff, especially if you do have acne prone skin, because sometimes it's just what is better for your skin. It just, for me, it works better. This is the NARS. This is what I use underneath my eyes and basically around any pores or wrinkles. For me, it's wrinkles as well as pores now because I'm getting to be older. But when I was in high school, I remember I had big pores and I hated them. And this is amazing because it hides your pores. You can buff it into your pores and fill them up and make it so that they don't look nearly as big. Also, like if you have kind of like acne scarring and it's kind of like divots, basically anything that you kind of want to fill up, this is what works, and it's amazing and I absolutely love it. It's definitely pricey, but it really is great and it does not break me out. And then for the rest of my like entire face, I like the Max Factor Translucent Professional Loose Powder. This is the one that I got in England, so it's definitely something you're gonna try and order online if you live in the US. But this is a really great all-over powder. My skin is super sensitive to powders, so I've tried so many powders in the past and they break me out really, really bad. So if you are breaking out a bunch and you don't know what it is, it could be your powder. So definitely keep that, you know, keep an eye out on that. But this one does not break me out. It is not a pore filler or anything like that, but it is amazing at keeping your skin oil-free throughout the day. It is also really good if you do want to touch up your makeup throughout the day and don't want to look cakey. This is really great because you can kind of just use a little blotter. That's another tip. I don't have one with me right now, but the oil blotters, the facial blotters, those are really great. And then I just get a big brush and kind of touch up, and it doesn't look like you've added a bunch of powder. It's really natural looking. It just kind of gives you a nice matte finish, and then you're good to go for another however many hours. So this is a really great powder and I absolutely love it. And then my last tip is to always moisturize your lips, because I feel like when you have acne, even though you try really hard, you're at some point gonna get some kind of acne treatment or acne wash or something on your lips, and they get really, really chapped. And there is nothing worse than having super duper chapped lips and then trying to put lip gloss or lip liner or whatever. Like, my lips get chapped all the time, and it is probably because somehow something gets on my lips from all the acne products that I'm using. This is my favorite lip gloss. This is the tinted lip balm from Victoria's Secret. You can get it for like $5. It's got a tiny bit of a tint. They also have a clear one. It gives a really gorgeous gloss to the lips, and it keeps your lips. It's the only lip gloss or lip balm that I've found that really does actually work. This stuff really has been helping my skin a lot. I get a lot of comments saying how beautiful my skin looks lately, and it is definitely not perfect at all in any way, but it is definitely better. I feel like this is a subject that I have been through. I mean, I have so many years of experience with darn acne, it's ridiculous. Don't worry, it does get better. It does get better with age. I used to be a pizza face. I mean, I know that sounds terrible because that's what people used to call me and it used to hurt my feelings, but my skin was terrible. It was honestly, I don't even have pictures of those years because my face was like from here, basically I didn't have zits on my eyes. It was everywhere. It was so bad. There were volcanoes. It was just the worst time of my entire life. It's not going to be one of those things where you're like, well, as soon as I turn 20, it'll go away. It's just for teenagers. That's not true. That is not true. If you know someone who has acne, who is struggling, and you feel like sharing, please share with them so that maybe some of my tips can help. Because sometimes like when I'm just at a store and I see someone with acne, I want to so badly go up to them and be like, try this product. You're gonna love it. It's gonna save your life. Because I went through so many years of feeling so cruddy about myself because of my acne, and I wish someone would have come up and just been like, here you go. But then you don't want to go up to someone and be like, hey girl, saw your acne. You know, you don't want to hurt their feelings because they're already self-conscious anyway. It's a really awkward situation. But if you have a friend or a family member who is struggling and you think maybe some of these tips might help, then please share with them. If it kind of makes them feel better about themselves and not have such a cruddy teenage years as I did, then that would be awesome. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!